best man, and I've actually kept some of the telegrams from 40 years ago, which, for those who perhaps are a bit younger will not realise, this was the in thing. We didn't have emails and iPhones and texts as we have today. So the first one I've got here is: best wishes, have reserved a bed in the recovery room for you. Room 7.
Hi, for you, Gordon.
Telephone out of order, query emergency night duty. These are obviously from this one's from the intensive care unit. Obviously very much on the hospital bed. Urgent stop, return bride immediately. Stop your 200 coupons short. Stop, George and Sheila Bain. Coupons is a thing we had. Things that perhaps our younger members will not appreciate. Fill up the falla. That came from Eddie Forbes. Congratulations to the bride on making a master, or Mr, and the groom, and gaining a wife and a sister. Kay and Don Weller. I can't tell you whether they're still with us or not. Anyway, you'll certainly hear perhaps a little bit from me just shortly after this, but my dear brother Douglas would like to say a few words.
Go on,
perhaps you would do the toast, or do you want me to do that? I'd let my brother do the toast. Okay. Well, good evening. Good evening. Speak into the mic. Well, thank you for coming along today to celebrate the 40th anniversary of our wedding, or our marriage, sorry. Time means different things to different people. Over 40 years ago, I asked this woman to marry me, and was thrilled to call her my wife. She's for the first time in my life. I can still recall the slightest particulars of that day, up to my astonishment when I saw Lynn in the awesome wedding dress coming down the aisle. More than 4 decades is a long period. It makes up many prime ministers, terms, and numerous Olympic Games. But for me, time has elapsed too fast. They say this always happens when you're happy. I am happy to still be in love with my wife, and I appreciate all
Right, Pinocchio.
Family would probably say our relationship must be the attraction of opposites. We certainly don't like the same hobbies, the same activities. In fact, the song "She Likes Tomatoes, I Like Tomatoes" was written for us. Yet we didn't call the whole thing off. We still have a lot of fun together.
Tell us more about that.
In these years, we've done a lot together. We've built up houses, extended them, and planted out gardens. Most importantly, we learned to tolerate each other's habits and traits. You say sorry when you are wrong.
But you've got to get a picture of Mum too.
This is quite unusual for me. I do it occasionally. We learned to cherish every evening spent with the family, even if it meant doing nothing special, just sitting on the sofa and trying to read a newspaper while the kids rushed about the room imitating the sound of helicopters' engines. We learned to be happy with what we have, and we have a family and a load of good friends. I have to admit that the last while we have been saying, where did the years go? And when exactly did we do so much? You see, when you are our age, the past becomes a blur, and you remember the entirety rather than the component parts. This is not to say, of course, you forget the big events, the major happenings, like retiring 7 years ago, which was the best management decision I have made in my life. It is easy to forget, though, the little things that gave you joy at some time during the days together. Of course, there are some ups and downs, but I must confess that the former greatly outnumbered the latter. Like a good wine, a good relationship becomes better and better with every passing year. It worked for our marriage and still makes my wife happy.
Did your mother write this?
I must thank
Did Lynn write this?
Claire, who has been the driving force behind organising this evening. She was ably assisted by brother Graham.
Lost your spot, Dad.
What?
Lost your spot.
No, just editing. No, I'm editing as I go along. So, I'll leave it to my brother for the toast. I'll come along shortly, but I do hope to see you in another 10 years.
Hear, hear.